Hello folks, you are welcome to my channel. On this video I'm going to help you to build this banner section. As we already on the previous video we learned how to build this navbar, responsive navbar using HTML and CSS and some basic of JavaScript. If you didn't watch that, I will advise you go first to watch that video to build this navbar. And on this video I'm going to help you to build this navbar banner section. And if I expand this here, as you see here, we have this nice effect with the opacity color, and at the same time we're having this image, and we'll use this field color to use this basically background color, and you can use that with any color actually basically you like, but I will advise maybe use it from the backgrounds. It will be relative to your image. And so basically at the same time, if you go to smaller screen, you can see that how being changed to be displayed in portrait position or layout, and on the large screen it will be landscape layout, so that's really responsive and work nicely across different devices. So let's go directly and build this one. So we'll go and use the same previous video code. So first we'll start to have this initial on the small devices layout. So we'll start here on this HTML file. And after this navbar, I'm going to add another section. In this section, we'll add with an ID called or with a class called banner.banner. And inside this banner, I'm going to add a div with a class called container, so I can wrap all the image and the text in the middle of the screen. And already I added a CSS for this container on the previous video, how to control this content and bring them into the middle of your screen. And inside this container, I'm going to add another class for the content with a class called content, div.content. And inside the content, basically we'll have this here, this hello, and then these two paragraphs. The first one will be then it will be your name basically, and then then will be your occupation name basically, if you are a software engineer or developer, or maybe if you are nurse or teacher or whatever. So basically this will be applied for anyone. And so basically this one, the big hello, it will be h2, and inside that will be just hello, and with a comma, and a next line will be paragraph with and then with curly braces, then your name inside this curly braces. And another one, just let me add this one, duplicate this this will be your occupation name, and that it. So we'll have hello, and this then will be your name, and this one section will be your occupation. So basically we'll have this very simple section for this banner. Let's run this on the browser. Let me just close this one. If I just press this here, go live, I need to stop it first. I already was running this. I need to press this go live, and this will open it on the browser. As I just mentioned this in previous video, how you can add live server to run HTML file, and that is very simple. We have this hello and this text, and now we need to add a background image for this section, and then centering this content to be same as we see here on the small device first, and then in larger device. So let's go to the smaller device first. That's what we need to build. And let's go to this style, CSS style file. After the navbar section here, I'm going to add another section for this banner. So first we'll add a comment to just describe this section for the banner. And after this comment, I'm going to set some CSS for the whole banner itself. I will change the width of the banner section here. Will take the 100 width, and the minimum height will be the view height, and the background will take this color. So if I change that, you see that it basically is right here is the banner section, and that because here on the small device will take the full height of the screen. And then I need to set the content for this banner. If I go back here inside this here, I need to add this. You see I'm adding this here to change the contents width to be 100 to take the full width, and the minimum height will be the same, the banner, and display flex, so I can control these items of the contents. I can bring them to this section, and to do that I need to display them to be flex, I'm adding padding left to be this 15 pixel here. This section now this is around 30 pixel because the container at the top here has already padding 15 pixel on the left, and I'm adding another 15 here at the bottom. So I need to set the container padding to be 0 for the banner. How I can set the container padding to be 0? How I can use this way inside the banner, and then this container set the padding to be 0, so that will still keep the container padding on other section will be same as 15, but it will only change for this banner section. So now I'm just set the container padding to be 0. As you see here, the padding is changed to be only 15 instead of 30. And then this flex direction to be column, so I can, when I apply flex by default, will set the children to take the direction to be row. So I'm changing that all of them will be in one column. And then next one, justify content. This will bring this content from the top to this here will be flex int. And also I'm changing the color background to be same as this one, and also background to be background here because I'm using background image, so repeat it to not to be repeated. And then here I'm using this background image and set using this linear. This is the magic things that we showing the image here, and then we can control it. So basically this linear will start from top and go to down, and then we'll start with this color with the percentage of 25 of this color, and then the next section will be set to transparent. So this is the place where we can show the image basically, and comma, and then using this URL, then you need to navigate to access this image. So we don't have this image at the moment, that's why we don't see it here. And then I'm changing the position of the background image to be top center, so I can bring the image to this section. And also the size of the background to be covered, so the image will be cover all the section. And the margin top to be -100 to bring the image from the bottom to top by -100, and padding bottom to be 100, so that will leave some padding at the bottom, and the one that we remove it from the top will add it to the bottom. You will not see that the difference actually, just how we can control the image. After bringing the image, you can see the difference. Just let me create a directory inside this. Here I can create a directory, call it images, and inside these images I'm going to bring an image. What the image is called? It's called mo.jpg. Inside this image I'm going to paste. So I have this image here. As you see, automatically the image changed here and shown on the website. So now I added the image that we try to access it inside this style. So that's how we can access an image. /images/ then your image name. This is why it's duplicated. So this should be just / then your image name. So which will be inside this directory here, images, and then your image, and there's the extension, the name, and then the extension will be JPG. And that's how we can add the image. So basically that is how we can add it on the small screen, and how we can control this opacity. And this color you can change it whatever. I can select anything else. If you see, if I change this to, for example, let's see that, let's save it. As you see, it's changed to dark, and if I change it, for example, to this red, and I save it, if you see that changed to red, but I'm going to leave it to initial one. So that's what this color is just, I'm bringing this color from this background or from this green. How you can pick this green or this section color? You can use the browser inspector by opening the inspector. If I come back to this section, for example here, and this image here, as you see, for example, I need to change this color. Just press this here and press anyone here if you see any area. And from here you can control the color. You can pick the colors that you are looking for, and even this close. That's how you can get the color. And after getting it, you can just copy it from here and add it to your CSS file. I'm not going to bring this one, basically I'm going to use the initial one. So that now we added this color, and if I save it, and this now is shown on large and small screen, but I need to show it differently on large screen. As you see that now it doesn't look nice. I need to change the on large screen to be shown a landscape. This is portrait. I need to change it to be landscape on the large or above 800. So this is when we're showing this list items. So what I need to do that, we need to use media query. But before that, I need just to set this H2 size, as you saw on this original one on the website, as larger size and also has different font family. So this H2 and paragraph, each one of them add the color white, and this one already being added to at the top. I don't need to duplicate that. I added to the body everything here color to be white. So now I can bring that. I can remove this one, not duplicating it. And the margin button for each one of these will be 10 pixels to leave some space between. And also the font family to be changed to this font family. I added this font family earlier from the Google. You need to go get that font family from Google, as you see here. I brought this font from Google. You can just go here, search for Google fonts. I already explained this on previous video. I'm changing just this H2 size to be 45 pixel and the paragraph to be 18 pixel. If I save this one, you should notice here some changes. If you save it, as you see, this is the original font family and font size, and leaving some mark between. So, and then after, I need to use the media query on large screen to display the content differently. So I can bring this media query here. I can define a media query. So to define a media query, first we'll call this at, and then media, and then here will be this braces. Inside the braces, we'll start with the minimum width. Will be start from which breakpoint we would like. I would like in this position to be 800. From 800 and then going to top breakpoints or any size, try to use this CSS. So then we'll open this curly bracket, then we'll be close here, and then you can define your CSS inside this curly bracket. So the first one, I'm changing the banner minimum height to be 600 instead of view height. As you see here, the initial one was here 100 view height. That will be changed to just 600 pixel, and the same the content will be changed to 600. And the margin top will be set to 0, padding button to be 0, background size will be initial, changing this background image to be initial, and justify content to bring this content to be center of the screen, horizontally center to screen, and this background using the same, this here, this linear, but what I'm using differently here, as you see here, I'm changing this opacity to be, or this color to be 12 instead of 20, 25. And instead of to top to be to right, basically will be affecting from left to right. So the opacity is this one, instead from bottom here to top will be from left here and going to right. And then background position, to change the background, this image position to be moved to right by 300 pixel and centered, and changing the H2 and paragraph, the H2 size to be 55 pixel instead of 45. And paragraph instead of 18 to be 28 pixel. If I save this one, as you see, this is now above 800. Changing the image to this position, and instead of this linear gradient from to top, it will be to right, which will be start from left to right. And if I go to large screen, that should be look. So if you see still here, we should see some effect also in this right section. How we can add that one, the one that I'm just going to bring this now. And you see this also is being centered vertically by using this justify content. If I bring this again to here, and I need to add another breakpoint here. So after this line, the breakpoint should be starting from here, this 1100. And inside here, I'm setting the content background image. So here, instead of this 12, this color, instead opacity 12 to be 30%. And also transparency to be, instead of 30 to be 50, and same it will be to right, and using the same image basically can change this one. And the background position, instead of this 300 center, it will be right center. And then here, as you saw, as you just remember here on this right section, can add some same effect on the left. How I can add that, I'm going to use after selector, so this content, then after I'm going to add a new content. To use the full width, and the minimum height will be the same, the banner height, which is 600, and using the same background image linear, and the position will be absolute, just to take the position on the right, and the right, so we'll take this minus 160, so I can position that in this area. And then as you see here in this linear gradient, I'm adding something different. Instead to right, it will be to left. So basically we'll start from right and go to left. And using this transparency for this section, for this color will be 25, and here for the background image it will be 45. If I save this one and go to large screen, you can see that now. As you see, now we have this effect here. And how I know this actually this breakpoint size, you can open the inspector and you can see that if I just large screen here, as is this area, you can notice that area just here. As you see, is 100, 1010. I'm going down, and this is 900. So on this small breakpoint, we'll not see this opacity on the or this linear color on the right side because we don't need it. But if you go above 1100, so we should see that. As you see now, just we need that. You see this linear gradient color. So that's how we can add it and do it like responsive to be shown as landscape on large screen and shown as a portrait on the small device, mobile and tablet. And that's it basically. And I hope that was simple and easy. And if you are new to my channel, don't forget to press subscribe and enable the bell to get all new videos and content. And also, if you like this video, don't forget to press thumb up. And if you have any question, any feedback, don't forget to leave that on the comment section. So that will help me to add more content, and then from your feedback, I can create new tutorial. So the next video that we are going to build, if you go back to this original website, I'm going to add this section, who I am. So this will be just some information about you. It will be very simple and easy. So I will leave the tutorial URL down of this video, and also will leave the next video in front of you on the recommendation section. See you on the next video.